This is part 2 of Brave Bessie. First, Bessie had to study how to inspect a plane. This plane had wings made of wood and cloth. Bessie had to check the cloth wings for any tears. She also had to check the propeller. After a few lessons, Bessie climbed into the back of the plane, and her teacher climbed into the front. The propeller whirled and the engine chugged. After a running start, the plane took off. Bessie gripped the controls as she took to the air. Her cheeks were stinging from the cold wind, but Bessie was grinning. Bessie had to walk miles and miles to the flying school each day, just like she walked to school as a child. Bessie practiced how to take off and how to land. She learned all the words for planes and flying, in English and in French. Finally, Bessie became the first African-American woman to earn a pilot's license. People could call her an aviatrix, the name for a lady pilot. That meant she was truly someone special. Summarize. Bessie worked for years to earn her pilot's license. Summarize what she did to earn it. Bessie returned to America. She was surprised to see reporters waiting to ask her questions. Many people were interested in Bessie. They wanted to see her fly her planes. Bessie wanted to help other African Americans. She wanted children to know they could make their dreams come true. She decided to earn money for her own flying school by performing stunt flying shows. One sunny day, over 1,000 people paid to see Bessie perform in New York. The crowd cheered as Bessie climbed into the cockpit. She was wearing a leather coat, a helmet, goggles, and a confident smile. And here is a timeline down at the bottom of page 450. In 1892, Bessie was born on January 26th in Atlanta, Texas. 1910, Bessie enrolls in college. 1915, Bessie moves to Chicago, Illinois. 1920, Bessie sails to France in the SS Imperator. 1921, on June 15th, Bessie obtains her pilot's license in France. 1922, Bessie performs her first air show in New York. 1925, Bessie earns the name Brave Bessie. 1926, Bessie Coleman dies in Jacksonville, Florida. 1929, the Bessie Coleman Aero Club opens. The plane slowly rolled down the field and took off. Bessie performed challenging flying stunts like figure eights and tailspins. The crowd went wild. Bessie performed her stunts in Texas, Tennessee, and Illinois. She flew over fields like the one she picked cotton in as a child. Crowds of people were below her, waving and cheering. She had earned the title Brave Bessie. Years later, her dream of opening a school finally came true. The Bessie Coleman Aero Club taught African American people how to fly. Thanks to Bessie, their dreams were taking flight too. And about the author and illustrator. Eric Velasquez loved to draw when he was a child. As a grown-up, he has illustrated more than 300 books. For Brave Bessie, Eric made the illustrations and wrote the story too. Bessie Coleman's story means a lot to Eric because he is an African-American hero, or because she is an African-American hero. That is why he wanted to tell her story to readers. Eric often uses oil paints, pastels, and charcoal for his illustrations. If kids would like to do what Eric does when they grow up, he tells them to draw, 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 paint, 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 read, read, read. And then the author's purpose question. Eric includes a timeline with the story. How does the timeline help you understand Bessie Coleman's life? And that is the end of part 2 of Brave Bessie.